Hi everyone, this is Anjul Patak and welcome to my channel. Today in this video, we will be looking at visualizing distributions. So often simply understanding totals, sums and even the breakdown of part to whole only gives a piece of the overall picture. Now, most of the time you will want to understand where individual items fall within a distribution of all similar items. So probably uh, you might uh, find yourself asking questions, right? Such as the following. So, how much does each customer spend at our stores, and how does that compare to all other customers? Then, how long do most of our patients stay in the hospital? Which patient fall outside the normal range? And what's the average life expectancy for components in a machine? And which last more than average? Are there any components with extremely long or extremely short lives? So, in such questions, you can see a similarity. In each case, you are trying to understand. You're trying basically you are seeking an understanding of how individuals, right? Individuals here are customers, patients, and components, and basically how do they relate to the group, to the whole group. So in such case, you most likely have a relatively high number of individuals. And in data terms, if you ask, this will be a dimension. So customer will be a dimension, patient will be a dimension, component will be a dimension. And that will be representing a relatively large population of individuals and some measure which you would like to compare. Now, it could be amount spent, length of stay, life expectancy, any measure which you would like to compare for this particular dimension. Okay. So, so here we will be covering three type of visualizations which cover distributions. First one will be circle charts. Second one will be box and whisker plots, and third one will be histograms. So let's start the circle charts. Now, circle charts are one way to visualize a distribution. So let me first build a circle chart in Tableau. This is a hospital visits data set. I'll leave the link to download this data set in the description. Okay. So I want to visualize by department type the average days in hospital. So let me drag this and convert it to average. So this aggregation will be average days in hospital. And this labs is not needed. Let me exclude it. Now what we have to do is basically convert this to circle chart. Okay, here you will see only three dots because we are not putting any details over here. So let me add a detail of doctor. Okay, so I'll put doctor into detail. Now you will see that each of these three marks which are there in visualization will get split by doctor. So you see now you have a dot for each of the doctors for each of the department type. Okay, now I can reduce a bit of the opacity over here if required, and maybe I can add a border over there, and I can also give a different color to each of this department type. So let me drag department type to color, and let me just fit this to entire view. Yeah, so here you can see which doctors have patients that stay in the hospital longer or shorter on average. Now we can add the average line also here for each of the department types. So go to analytics pane and drag the average line here for per cell. So you now see that average line has been added for each of the department types. And this is the distribution of all the doctors. Okay. So you see that within specialty, there's Dr. Florence Sabin, and the patients have an average days in hospital of 1.69 days for this doctor. Then Oliver Sacks for this doctor the average days in hospital of patient is 2.44 days. So likewise, we are basically comparing the days in hospital of patients for each of the doctors by department type. So this is a beautiful graph giving you the picture of an average number of days in hospital for each of the patients, for each of the doctors within the different department types. So this is the distribution. It is also interesting to note that certain types of departments have longer average length of stay versus others. So, and this makes sense as each type of department has patients with different needs. So, and it's probably not surprising that patients in intensive care tend to stay longer, right? And certain departments may have different goals or requirements. So, in specialty, there could be less number of days. In general, it's like medium, and in intensive care, there will be longer duration of stay. So this was all about the circle graphs or circle plots. Now let's go to box and whisker plots. So box and whisker plots, they are sometimes called as box plots also. So they add additional statistical context to the circle charts. So, so let us consider this diagram. Here the box plot has been added to a circle graph, and the box is divided by the median, if you see here. And half of the values are above and half are the below. Okay. And the box also indicates the lower and upper quartiles. Okay. Lower quartile and upper quartile. Okay. And which each contain a quarter of the values. So basically the span of this box makes up what is known as the interquartile range or IQR. Okay, so this from here to here, this is interquartile range or IQR. And the whisker will always extend to 1.5 times the IQR. So this is IQR and this distance will be always 1.5 times the IQR. Okay. And any marks beyond this whisker are treated as outliers, right? So let's go and make this box plot in Tableau. So to add the box and whisker plots, we just use the analytics tab. And what we do is we drag this box plot. If you see here, there's a box plot option, and we have already made this circle chart. Okay, so just dragging this box plot on this circle chart, okay, will give you this option. So just drag this here, and you will see that box plot has been made. Now this helps us to basically see and compare the medians, the ranges of data, the concentration of values, and any outliers. So luckily here we don't have any outliers, and we see that the average is there, the interquartile range is there, the whiskers are there, but there are no outliers in this data. But there could be scenarios where you can easily identify the median and as well as the outliers, which would be beneficial for you to take decision then as per the data of your source. Okay. So this was all about box plots. You can always edit the box plot by going here, by clicking any box and just going here in edit. You have options. Even if you want, you can change whisker to the maximum extent of the data if that is the requirement. But normally the whisker is 1.5 times the IQR. Okay. You can also change how the box should be filled. That filling and formatting can be done here. The style can be chosen here. Border if you want, what kind of border colors, and then how the whisker should look like, what should be the color of the whisker. So these are formattings you can do by editing the box. So now let's go to the histogram. So histogram are basically another possibility for showing distributions, and basically a histogram looks similar to a bar chart, but the bars show a count of occurrences of a value. Now, for example, say standardized test auditors looking for evidence of grade tampering might construct a histogram of student test scores. So if you see here, these are the bins of scores, and here they are the count of number of students, right? So typically a distribution might look like this, okay? And so the typical distribution would always follow a bell curve, right? And here if you see, some students are doing poorly and some are doing extremely well, right? But most of them have scores somewhere in the middle. So this middle portion, if you see, the maximum count lies here, right? But say if in case the auditors see something like this, okay, the histogram, then definitely there is something wrong, right? The pattern is not normal, and definitely it needs investigation. So histograms are very useful in catching anomalies like this. Now let's go to Tableau and work through an example. Now let's say, what if you want to visualize the time it takes to begin patient treatment, right? So that they can observe the patterns for different patient populations. Now we have a field called minutes to service over here, okay? So we can just click on this and then go here in show me and click on this histogram, right? Just click on this and see. So what Tableau has done is, this has used this minutes to service measure, created the bins. If you see here, this field has automatically populated over here. Now it has been converted to dimension, okay? Dimension, because we want buckets over here. So it will act as a dimension, but while plotting it will be a continuous, so that we get an axis over here, right? And the count of minutes to service, they are plotted over here, right? So bins are basically the range of measure values that can be used as dimensions to slice the data. And you can think of bins as buckets. So you can basically set the size or range of the bin when it is created and edit it at any point. So, and by default, so Tableau also suggests bin size. So if I go and click edit on this bin, so if you see that this is something which Tableau has suggested, right? Suggest bin size, it's automatically taken as the suggestion by Tableau over here. And Tableau will use uniform bin sizes for all bins. Okay. If you want, you can also create a new bin, or you can edit this. So if I want to create a new bin, say I go here, minutes to service, create bin. So this way I can create a new bin over here. Okay. Now instead of 3 point something, this is the automatic suggestion. Say if I want only 2.5 as the bin size. Okay. Now this second field has been created, and let me drag on this, okay, and convert this to continuous, right? Now the graph has changed slightly because of the bin size. Now it's 2.5. So it starts here, there is no count in 0 to 5, then 5 to 7.5, there's 7, then 7 to 7.5 to 10, we have 45. So likewise the count is increasing, and you see somewhere here minutes to service 22, 22.5, there is a peak of 1526, right? So this way basically we have counted the how many records are falling under the bin of minutes to service, right? And we see the maximum records are getting serviced in this range, right? And you can also change this count, right? Right now we are counting every record of minutes to service. You can convert, say I want to count distinct patient ID. Okay, so I can remove this and just right click and drag this patient here. I want count distinct of patient. So now this gives me the distinct count of patients being served. So this is minutes to service bin. So for 5 to 7.5 minutes, 7 distinct patients were serviced. Then 7.5 to 10 minutes, 38 distinct patients were serviced. So likewise, you can see the histogram, and it follows a bell curve basically. So we don't see any anomaly over here. So this was a short video on visualizing distributions where we covered the circle charts, box plots, and histograms. So I hope you found this video useful. So thank you for your time and thank you for watching this video. Please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel to remain updated with my new videos. See you again next time. Thank you.